this is our project today. It's a really simple flip top box. This is what I designed the box for. If you've ever had these, they're absolutely delicious. They just melt in your mouth. These little Toggi wafers. I live right outside of Chicago. We've got lots of European markets, and so that's where I pick these up. I'll probably throw an Amazon link on the blog for you so you can see. What I had been meaning to do, but I don't know if I have one, is see if a Hershey bar would fit in here, because I did make it just a little bit deeper, hoping that maybe it would. If I find out, I'll let you know, but I don't know if I have one handy. All right, so let's get started here with our box. Our box is 8.5 by 7, so you'll get one of these out of a sheet of cardstock. We're going to use early espresso, and let me grab my Simply Score tool here, and we'll score this guy up. Slide to the side, you candy. All right, now we're going to score on the 8.5-inch side at 1 and at 7.5. And then you want to rotate to the 7-inch side. You'll score at 2 1/4. I'm always jumping the track. I need to get me some wax paper. 3 1/4, 5.5, and 6.5. So really simple. I will be on a mission to see what other kinds of things fit in this long box. I'm wondering if it's long enough for like pencils and things. Maybe you could put a little kit of things in here. I don't know, we'll see. If you find out what fits in here, if you find a candy or a treat that you like in this box, always share. I would always love to know what treats you put in the boxes, especially if it's something different than what I use. And we're just going to work all these score lines, and we're going to do some trimming. All right, so you've got your 2 1/4 inch, your biggest panel here, and you'll go to the ends and debulk the score line here. I just pull it out, a little angle on the inside tab, a little bit straighter on the outside tab, and then pull out the excess. We'll do that on both sides. All right, so we've taken out our side scores. Now we got to work the top of our box. Here's our 1/2 inch tab, and we're going to cut past the first score line, stop at the second, and just take a little dart out of there. Then this first score line, we're just going to cut that guy right off, just on this corner here. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're just debulking a little and then cutting off that 1/2 inch. So there's our box. Pretty simple box, and it goes together real easy too. I like to round the corners on a tuck tab, so let's go ahead and round these top corners here. Just a little bit there. And we need some tear and tape. I like tear and tape mostly because it really makes it easy for you guys to see what I'm doing. So we're working on the inside of the box right now. We're going to add some adhesive along the biggest tab on the inside of the box. Go all the way to the outer edge. That'll give you a better seal when you close the box. And then the small tabs, these are going to the inside of the box. Oh, I'm gonna have to trim that up. So fold those in, and you can add, I like the little equal signs here, because then your treat doesn't get stuck on the tabs when you're pushing it into the box. When you're pushing down in the box, if it's adhered along this top edge, it'll just keep your box nice and neat. So that's the method behind the madness. You got a secure edge and a secure tab if you use those little equal signs. So let me trim out the rest of this little cardstock there. We might have to go back and fix that when we close the box. But there's your adhesive placement. And let me get a take your pick tool and peel these guys. All right, inside tabs are exposed. You're going to fold up and bring the back of the box in. Same with the other side. Then remove the liner on the front tabs, and the front tabs will go toward the back of the box so that all the seams are in the back. So bring that to the back. Nice and square, secure. All right, got something underneath here. Let's see if it's handy. Found these at the Dollar Tree. Let's see if it fits. Oh, not quite. Its horn is just a little too high. So just to give you some idea, it's a narwhal. Did you see that? All right, so there's our box. And let me clean this up real quick. All right, designer series paper. This is the one that I'm going to use today. We're going to bring in the Rococo Rose. This is in good taste, and it is 2 inches by 6 1/4 inches. And we're going to run some strong adhesive. You could use your Seal Plus here. No peeling. I like that part about the Seal Plus. But I want a strong adhesive on both ends. Got to take your pick tool right here, and I'm still picking off the thing with my fingernails. And I wonder why they're all cracked and peely. All right, now I've got multi-purpose liquid glue. I'm just going to run it inside that line. Now the reason for that is we've got our tulle ribbon here. We're going to take our tulle ribbon. We're going to run it across the front of the box. Need maybe 8 inches. And then we're going to tuck the tulle ribbon into the tear and tape. So you want that strong adhesive with a quick grab. That's how we've got the front of the box with the ribbon across it. Saves you all these inches of ribbon wrapping around. So it saves you about, I don't know, maybe 5 inches of ribbon. Instead of wrapping it around the paper, just wrapping it around the front. And then you can just center it on and adhere down. So if you're making a lot of these, you don't want to have that extra like 5 inches of ribbon just hidden behind the designer series paper. All right, there's our ribbon. Let's pop our little candy in, or our large candy. I wonder about like king size candy bars, American candy bars. There we go. Now, before I close my tab, I'm going to take my little 1/2 inch circle punch and just pop a little thumb notch. I always think that I am like dead on center when I do this, and then find out that I'm not. So then what I'll end up doing usually is going just a little bit wider to fix that I'm not so off center, and then it looks like I used a 3/4 inch circle punch. Am I alone? Does anybody else do that? Anybody else's eyes completely off center? Oh boy. So there's our little thumb notch. Help us to get that tab. Now ahead of time I did my die cutting. Let me show you what I did. I have a soft, like ashy wood grain. This is also from that In Good Taste designer series paper, and I cut it with the labels from that suite. So this is the Tasteful Labels dies. It's the second largest, this long one. So same designer series paper family. Ooh, I like the way this is going. Then I cut a Whisper White stitched circle using the stitch shapes. It's the 1 7/8 inch from Whisper White. And our last die cut is Rococo Rose scallop circle from Layering Circles, and this is the 1 15/16. So it's the 4th from smallest, right in the middle there. Okay, do some stamping. That's the best part, right? I love these chocolates, and I just can't even wait to stamp them. All right, Stampin' Pierce mat. I like my chocolates early espresso and soft suede. I did the outline and the espresso and the fill in with the soft suede. The kind of scary part when you're stamping them is that it looks the same color when you stamp it at first. It looks really dark, but don't be surprised, it's going to dry lighter. So outline an early espresso, and then we're going to fill in with soft suede. I am really enjoying this stamp set. You got all the great mix and matchable greetings, and then for the images, all you do is stamp the outline, stamp the color. They go pretty quick. See what I mean? Looks very dark. All right, I just pulled out Rococo Rose. We're gonna do today's plan, consume, and Rococo Rose on our circle. And we're gonna complete that greeting with the die cut word chocolate. Today's plan, consume chocolate. Oh, I'm really kind of liking this color combination here with the Rococo Rose too. I think brown and pink, how can you go wrong, right? Especially with chocolate. This is making my life so much easier. So this is the new foam adhesive sheets. You get 6 of these sheets in a pack, and we're going to take a scrap of early espresso, pop it right on the foam, and let's go this way. I just smooth it back down and cut out the scrap. Now what we'll do is this little piece right here, just nice clean strip. I'll just throw that in a bag, and I use that like a dimensional. The die sheets are just black or 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 cardstock with white cutouts from the actual die set, and there's photographs of them in the craft social if anybody would like the measurements so that they can make their own little die sheets. They're in there's an album in the craft social where you can find them. All right, there's my little chocolates. Let's do chocolate, the dimensional word now. You're not going anywhere, chocolate. So we got this little scripty word, that early espresso cardstock, and the foam, and it's going to cut right through without any problem. Now, in the Kitchenette's team meeting on Monday, we made some really cute cards. I'll show you those in a minute too. Don't forget to remind me that I owe you a peek at the Stamp-A-Stack, and I'm going to show you the cards that we did with this bundle in our team meeting. So in the team meeting, I realized a really cool time saver with these. So if you saw me use these last time, you saw how I just pull away the scrap and leave the word in the die. Now I'm going to set that aside for a minute. Let's get this ready to apply that. I need some adhesive. What do I want? I want multi-purpose liquid glue. We're going to adhere our circle to our Rococo Rose scallop. And then we're going to adhere these 2 layers to our label. There's our little stack of labels. Now here, wait till you see. So we're going to take our chocolate word. We're just going to line that up where we want it, right inside the die. Gently press down. And then you can use like, here, take your pick tool or something, because you just got to get underneath. And then you just take the die right off the word. No stretching, no sticking to your fingers, no back and forth like you're stuck. Then you can just weed out the inside of the letters with your take your pick tool. And so now something that was already like mind-blowing, life-saving, earth-shattering easy, the foam sheets, has just gotten even easier. I don't know how I lived without them. You know how I lived? I didn't do these little fine cuts on dimensionals. I glued them down flat with multi-purpose liquid glue. Look at that. There it is. All right, another tip. I've given this one out before. We're going to take this word and we're going to cut it. And then we're going to cut it into a couple of pieces. And then we're going to take this and use it on the back of our label. I like a well-supported label. We're using scraps here anyways, so it's going to have good support, but I'm going to use this up because you know what? You paid for this part too, so you should use it. Now, multi-purpose liquid glue. We want to center that on the box. And our ribbon's in there, so we're going to need just a little bit of a second to grab that and let it dry. Ooh, I love this. I love this color palette. It's so good. All right, leave that dry for just a second. We got our little chocolates. And if you guys aren't sick of it yet, we're just gonna take a piece of our little foam and do the same thing on here. Little adhesive, little multi-purpose liquid glue. It's as good as a dimensional. Don't throw those little cutouts away. Love. All right, let's bring our original in here so you can see the different color palette. This is all that same In Good Taste Designer Series paper. I just thought it worked so nicely with chocolate. Then some more of this. So you do about 8 inches here across, then you'll need another 8 to 10 depending on your dexterity. That's how you tie your bow. So instead of wrapping all the way around and having that ribbon that goes all the way across the back that you don't see, you'll only use what is actually going to be visible on the project, which is pretty cool. Ribbon's expensive. It shouldn't be hidden behind the designer series paper. So we'll tie the ribbon. Now this is flexy. You can slide your bow back and forth, and we'll just tie it to the piece that goes across the front of our project. So it looks like it's wrapped and tied, but you're really gonna get a whole lot more inches of ribbon for the same spool. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me get some ribbon scissors and trim that off. I love the pattern of the paper, how it's kind of a textile pattern with the wood grain, the pink and brown or the red and brown, very chocolate. My ribbon's a little folded there. There they are. I told you it's going to be a fast project. If you've got questions about the project, or if you find something awesome that fits in this size box, email me, okay? Marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. To get the products that you see me demonstrate here, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net, okay? All right, there you go, guys. Thanks for joining me. If you've got questions, reach out. I'm always happy to help you. Have a great weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.